What do you know of the situation in the south now that so many Palestinians, thousands and thousands, have fled from the north? What if any, resources are there to accommodate, feed, or even offer them water?
Yes, I mean, Michael, I think we could describe the situation really as verging on the catastrophic. Situation is very dire right throughout Gaza. We know that there's been, high levels of violence, as your colleague mentioned, over 2,000 deaths now, probably close to 8,000 severely injured as well. We've got hospitals and clinics that aren't functioning or are only partially functioning. And they've been overloaded with the extra trauma load and, of course, the lack of fuel, the lack of electricity, the loss of some staff, lack of water, and declining medical stocks makes it incredibly difficult to provide that care for the extra caseload. And now, as you indicate, with all this overcrowding, particularly with the latest population movements into South Gaza, it's really setting ourselves up for a catastrophic public health situation. Overcrowding in these collective centres and schools, poor sanitation, poor access to water, big chance of disease outbreaks, and then you've got the mental health dimension as well. So from a public health perspective, this is almost as bad as it gets.
Yeah, I've been to Gaza a few times. I mean, it's never good there. I mean, the infrastructure is always teetering on the edge. It's hard to imagine how much this has pushed it when you don't have food, fuel, water, and so on. The Palestinian Health Ministry said that hospitals have, lost their clinical, pharmaceutical. I mean, when the fuel runs out, the operating theatres. Could it collapse?
Well, yes. I mean, it's really stretched to the brink right now, and therefore we really do need these humanitarian corridors that people have been talking about for days, and those with the decision-making authority, aren't facilitating that. So we just need that Rafah border opened ASAP. We need access from wherever it's possible. We need to replenish the medical stockpiles. We need the fuel in. We need clean water flowing again. And that's going to take a long time to get that health system back on some sort of even footing. But these are desperate times, and those humanitarian corridors are absolutely vital. It's not just getting the supplies across the border, though. We need those corridors to be secured throughout Gaza so we can reach the vulnerable people in need.
Yeah, you get them into the Gaza Strip, you've got to then distribute them. That's absolutely true. I'm wondering what the options are for those who've heeded the warning to head south. I mean, it's potentially 100, 200, 300,000 people who've gone to the south, which was already desperately poor. It's not like there's empty apartment buildings there for them or the infrastructure to feed or water them as well. What could happen if there is an outbreak of disease?
Well, it's going to be very, very difficult to control. The diseases that we most worry about would be diarrheal disease and people who are lack of access to clean water. Kids are becoming malnourished there. So an outbreak of diarrhea could be lethal, particularly for vulnerable people like the elderly and young kids. We'd worry about other, pneumonias and COVID, other viral infections that can be spread by what we call droplet transmission. And then the capacity to get on top of those types of outbreaks has been incredibly depleted. So, a lot of people could potentially die, and certainly there'll be a lot of suffering.